Welcome back, everybody, to the Overwatch Rumble, brought to you by Razer and DX Racer. I'm Storm with Hurix for our final series of the day. It's going to be EvVy taking on NRG. Hurix, what are your thoughts on this matchup?
Well, I think this should be pretty easy for EvVyUs. NRG right now are sitting at 0-2, but I don't think that they're going to be able to get their first win in the group stage against EvVyUs, who right now are the only team that has been proven themselves as lossless at the moment. Certainly a really close match last series against Liquid, but they were able to edge that one out. And that final match of the group outside of this one will be Liquid versus Splyce to determine who actually finds that second place slot. I kind of imagine Liquid will find that, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, of course, the other groups, of course, are going on right now, or actually two of the groups are done. Group C is currently going on right now. Group A and Group B have completed. Of course, the top two from all four groups make it to play tomorrow. If you're in the bottom two, you're out of the tournament. So, of course, from Group A, it's Rogue at number 1, Rise at number 2. Group B was Immortals over Cloud9 at the second spot. So we've got 4 of the 8 teams ready to go here. And I'm pretty sure with the win here from EvVy, obviously it would secure it, but I think at this point they've already secured a spot. Potentially we'll have to see. Is I don't imagine NRG will be the most difficult matchup for these guys, but we'll see if NRG is able to take a map off them or potentially even pull the upset here.
Well, they do have a little bit of a roster switch up. We forgot to kind of mention, at least initially, but that's going to be Mendo out, Ultima Wep in, and that's Ultima Wep, of course. I mean, certainly people should remember him from the NA scene for quite some time, back on the Method roster as well. I mean, this guy has been around for quite a while and coming through for NRG now as Mendo with those ping issues. I think that was just becoming a little bit too much of an issue, as well as some other extenuating circumstances perhaps could have come up as well to kind of lead to Ultima Wep coming through. But doesn't look like so far throughout their group stage it has made all too much of a difference for them, at least in a positive direction, as they're sitting now 0-2 and now battling against the toughest team in the group. Now that we have determined it between EvVyUs and Liquid, I don't know if their luck is going to change anytime soon here.
Yeah, I'll be honest, it's going to be tough to match that last game that we just had here, but it will be EvVy on the defense to get things started. Kings Row to Nepal to Hollywood for our map pool here. As we do see NRG looking for the high ground here, see if they can find anything. Are going to be forced down at least a little bit and look to regain that advantage as Louis is across the other side here with his own high ground advantage. We'll see if they're actually going to try to pounce upon that. As he drops to the lower ground, his team is actually going to flank all the way back around towards their spawn.
Now pushing onto the point, EvVyUs giving up that initial positioning, but just Numlock getting very aggressive, has that shield, and it's going to be Coco firing back with a charge of his own, putting Numlock out of position, and Coco finding that first kill to take out the Reinhardt from NRG.
Mickey still took a little bit of damage. He's okay right now, and oh my goodness, Ultima Wep in a rough spot. He's going to be taken down. Nice bio grenade connected there from Chips to secure that kill for themselves. And EvVy, without a problem whatsoever here, they're just going to be able to mop up this fight. Already a minute off the board, and actually some extra time going to be taken off as well because of these late kills. Numlock, what are you doing, man? Why is he back in this fight? Hopefully he can get the safety. He is under a lot of pressure. Does he? Whoa, the hook onto Coco. Looks like he actually does get the safety though, Hurix.
Yeah, he's able to get himself back behind that bus, but because of the fact that he did have his barrier up there for a while, he's going to have to wait to get that shield charge back up before they can actually get in. And now, because he's going forward, they're just poking this down. They're going to be at a distinct advantage in the barrier war unless they go around again, but they're going to get aggressive off it, so it's not going to matter too much. Graviton Surge coming out as well.
Sound barrier, though, comes through from Harry Hook. They pick up a kill with Louis with the tactical visor on Ultima Wep. Make it 3 kills in the bag. They also actually put a sleep dart, I think that was onto Ajax there, and he's going to be taken down as well. Hardblue probably not going to be making it out too far here as EvVy again clean this up. 2 minutes already off the clock here.
Dummy, that late kill, very, very late kill indeed. And you just mentioned that 2 minutes off the clock now, just less than 2 minutes remain here. Coco, Taimu, both with ultimates, and really NRG with not too many options here. They already used Harblue's Graviton Surge, and Ultima Wep is coming soon with that whole hog, so they will be able to return fire a little bit, but self-destruct coming out from Mickey will be able to disperse everybody off the point from NRG, especially if they can get that barrier from Numlock down. They actually send it right in.
Oh, the Earth Shatter, but self-destruct into it. What a play coming through. Perfectly timed from Mickey and Coco. They are just going to mop them up once again, get themselves that team kill as soon as they can deal with Ajax. And unfortunately, Hurix, they used the nano boost there from Dummy, which they're not going to have anymore for this next fight.
Oh man, Taimu now, whole hog still at the ready, and nothing used there from NRG, but a clean wipe from EvVyUs now, Just over 1 minute remains here. I mean, really, it could come down to just 2 more pushes if they're able to make this next stop. But Taimu definitely needs to land a hook, but not going to be able to find anything initially. That's the whole hog coming out here, Storm.
He's going to try to push him all the way back. Oh, they do follow up off of that one. Got rid of the shield from Numlocked and kind of able to follow up off of that onto Ajax. 50 seconds remaining just like that here. And it really feels like EvVy hasn't had much of a struggle whatsoever cleaning up these team fights. They don't have a whole lot to work with other than both support ultimates. Maybe that can work for NRG this time around.
This is looking a little bit like the selfless matches we casted in Group C at the moment, but 30 seconds here. Last ditch effort now as Numlocked has the only ultimate for NRG. Harblu should be able to generate that Graviton Surge, so I'll have to see if this is going to be it. Numlocked needs to get in a good position though.
But look at Louis. He's nearing that tactical visor, which has been a recurring problem. There's an Earth Shatter from Numlocked. Only hits Mickey. In the meantime, we see a sound barrier come out as well for EvVy. Now Louis coming through with the nano visor, looking for something. They do pick up a kill on a Harry and Coco. They lose the defense matrix coming out there. 2 kills. Taimu able to find, just 1 on the ultimate web. Still 4 people remaining on the point here for the side of NRG. They lose IDDQ and Dummy at this point in time. Numlocked still on the point. He is the lone person here, along with Harblu, who's actually asleep on the slide. Oh my goodness. Have NRG captured this first checkpoint here?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it looks like Coco's going to be backing up, so they do wind up taking it in overtime. Wow. But I mean, really, that could have been either way because Numlocked was down to about 1 HP. Louis got really aggressive trying to take that kill. And if that would have happened, Chips might have been able to get the support, maybe. But Harblu did wind up getting up from that sleep and taking him out eventually. So fell a little bit short, but overall, pretty solid first point hold from EvVyUs now as Louis is going to be able to get control of that high ground. And I imagine they're going to try to take this fight to the archway, where if they make that hold, then, oh man, is EvVyUs going to be in a great position.
They certainly are, even at this point with only 2 minutes to go. There's a charge to get things started. Earthshatter out as well, able to lay a few of them flat here. Nice hook from Ultimate Web, secures a kill. And just like that, NRG really battling their way back into this map, though. Taimu looking for a kill there. No, Pulse Bomb sticks on him. He gets taken down. Mickey going to be demeched as well from that Pulse Bomb. Ultimate Web comes through with that kill in the end. And NRG continuing to move forward with the payload.
Numlocked coming back onto it. 1:30 remains, so still decent amount of time here for EvVyUs to come back into this one. And Mickey now looks like he was thinking about a swap perhaps, but not going to actually go through with it. He does have that self-destruct, so EvVyUs now with a lot of ults charged up, and they really just have to make 1 or 2 holds here. Pretty much just kind of one. If they can make this one last long enough. We do see the self-destruct coming out though from Mickey, and he finds 2 again.
Oh my goodness, that was off the Earthshatter from Coco. And honestly, I'm going to say it, Numlocked made the mistake there. Numlocked charged in. Coco sidestepped it, brought down the shatter, or the self-destruct came out as well, and that was that for EvVy, able to hold them off right there. Now 45 seconds remaining. Not a lot of time to work with, especially with EvVyUs being so aggressive here.
Yeah, and that was that one hold they were looking for, to be able to get aggressive. Now they can just kind of steal time away, pull out ults as they can to just force NRG to try to kite them out. And that's really all it's going to come down to. Chips and Jin actually just going to be dropping there as Louis finds the kill on Ajax. Again, 28 seconds here. Harry hook, the sound barrier, the only thing left, and they're just going to get aggressive off of this one.
Oh, Numlocked hooked in, though. It didn't look like they had the numbers advantage. Sleep Dart comes out onto Louis up top. Is it enough, though, as Ultimate Web comes through with the whole hog, picks up 2 kills for himself, looking for Louis in the back. They know he's there. They know of his presence right now. Taimu going to be taken down as well. They still have a couple of ultimates if they need it. 5 seconds here. They should be able to move this through here. So we'll have to see if anybody for EvVy is going to be able to contest. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case, though.
I don't think they're in a position. I don't like the way that they played that actually with the ultimates they had. I think they could have been able to go forward, be aggressive like they were, but with the ultimates, I think they should have spaced them out a little bit more just to try to steal time away and get them away from the payload. Again, just draining time off the clock. I think that would have been the best way to do it. Play it slow, force them to try to play the archway for a lot longer rather than getting aggressive and trying to get, trying to get a lot of lethality out of your ultimates very early on to try to get a wipe. I don't think that was the play there. But nonetheless, we're going to be seeing Louis take that first kill. Coco actually going to get taken out in turn.
Ooh, Numlocked will eventually be taken down there. I think Harblu's Graviton Surge was actually absorbed there by the defense matrix. I didn't see it out in the end here, but I was watching Numlocked, who charged in there, got a kill, but then dropped himself. So EvVy gonna back off of this 145 seconds. NRG has been, they've been doing good with limited time, but if they have an abundance of it, doesn't seem to be working in their favor here. So we'll see what they can make of this next push with just that Pulse Bomb and Earthshatter to work with.
Forward here. IDDQD with that pulse bomb. Look at his position here. We do see the hook coming out, and that's going to shut down Harblue. And they don't have that Graviton Surge anywhere close, so they're going to be backing off and just trying to get him back up into this fight just to get value out of that projected barrier. And it's going to be Mickey dropping out that self-destruct, and actually Mickey going to be able to be taken out.
IDDQD coming through up top. He was in a sneaky position. There's a Earth Shadow coming out from both sides, laying a few people flat. There's a charge follow-up from Coco. Picks up a couple of kills for himself. Can they make it back in time? It looks like EnVy have this in the bag. They make the hold, but Hurix, should the payload have even been pushed that far?
I actually don't think it should have been pushed that far at all. I mean, EnVyUs, you know, you give up that first point. Yeah, you know, it's just going to happen when you just lose that ultimate advantage at some point or another. If you're just not able to close it out. It was still really close, could have gone back and forth. I mean, Louis, Chips, both on that kind of statue area with a 2v2, but with the respawn advantage that we saw NRG having, they would have been able to get back on the point. As soon as we saw Coco actually get back in there, you know, if they would have had that those extra 2 people up and ready, and then he adds in, then maybe, yeah, especially given the fact that one of those players was actually the pillar support, you know, with Anna being able to provide most of the healing, most of the support to Coco, and maybe get a sleep. That, yeah, they might have been able to hold on the first point. The second point, though, that should have been all EnVy. I think they should have definitely been able to hold on that archway, play a lot slower, just kind of stagger out their ultimates a little bit more so that they can take those slow picks when they can. Don't get too aggressive. Stay and just try to sustain as if you were fighting in overtime on the point. Play for the sustain, take the picks where you can, and just try to draw out the map at least long enough to try to secure the overtime and take the fight then. But that wasn't the case. They wound up losing that second objective, and I think that was a little bit of free distance for NRG to cover, where NRG kind of let them have it. Nonetheless, though, I think that really NRG should fall a little short on their defensive side. EnVyUs, I think, are going to be the victors here on King's Row on their attack.
A little bit of an update in the other group, Group C. It looks like LG Evil did take down Envision, which will secure them a spot in tomorrow's quarterfinals, along with Selfless, who are still taking on You Guys Get Paid. Even if they do lose that, I think they will still move on. So both those teams moving on from Group C. Just you know, we just need to hear the victor between Splice and Team Liquid for the final contestant tomorrow. But anyhow, we get to see if EnVy are able to push the distance here and try to take the map victories. It looks like going to be putting Mickey back on the Zarya, going for that triple tank setup.
Now pushing out. This is going to be EnVyUs trying to make a quick play as they're just going to look to dominate this map. We already see IDDQD in high ground, and that's going to be good for them. And man, it seems crazy to me actually that with NRG games, we haven't seen IDDQD really being a huge standout, but certainly on this defensive side, when he's able to get space and get insulated, I think this is going to be an opportunity for him to really make a name against EnVy, a really, really solid team right now in this tournament. And right now he is trying to do that, trying to shut down Taimu actually, who's on the Hanzo and making some plays already.
Yeah, they only have 2 people still alive. I mean, this is pretty much a done fight at this point. They've got all 6. Numlock trying to dive in from downtown. IDDQD still in the area as well, and that will certainly secure the first checkpoint in under a minute from EnVy. That wasn't even a fight, to be quite honest. That was just EnVy rolling over them and going to have so much time to work with in this next phase. About 5:30 here.
Now pushing forward, 5:30 on the clock. They're going to push through that archway here for sure. It's going to be Mickey stealing away some of that free charge, and Taimu, this is that combo, you know, that certainly a lot of people look for with the Zarya and that Hanzo, but Mickey just not with enough here as he gets shut down. The energy was just not that high for him. However, Harblue with a lot of energy on his side, Dragon Strike coming out, but not going to be able to find any kills.
That's a little unfortunate for the side of EnVy. They had the intel from Taimu coming through there with the arrow, and unfortunately, Louis missed a point-blank hook onto Dummy, and then got put to sleep, and then it was Ultima Web came around the corner and found that kill onto him, so really wasn't able to find anything. It was like a 5-on-6 throughout that fight, but a nice pick with the Fire Strike from downtown from Coco. They should be able to follow up off of that one. They have an Earth Shatter if they want to bring it down. Olog's out there from Ultima Web. Is it enough to push him back? It looks like for the time being, Coco will be pushed back, needs some heals from Chips, but Louis finds the kill onto Numlocked and opens up a big window for EnVy to continue to move forward.
EnVyUs definitely looking solid at the moment, but look at this, IDDQD Dummy ready to go with that Nano Visor, and Taimu already with another Dragon Strike. I mean, before Mickey is even able to get before he's able to get that Graviton Surge, and I think that says a lot about Taimu's ability and just how Mickey hasn't been able to get as much energy and find those kills. But now, as he's at high energy, the Graviton is going to come out. They're going to Nano Boost him up, actually, for Mickey to try to get one of his own. He's at very high energy. Dragon Strike coming out a little early, and that's not going to actually connect.
Oh my goodness, but the scatter arrow does, man. That was a huge play coming out from Mickey, and an Earth Shatter to set that up from Coco as well. And just like that, EvVy confirmed the second point, and 5:15 to work with here to be able to basically win one team fight. I mean, that payload is not pushed very far beyond that second checkpoint here. So this is looking like a dream situation for EvVy to be able to clean this up.
Really, really good time here for them. 5 minutes, and now Taimu is still trying to find those picks. Didn't need the Dragon Strike at all in that last one. Was able to, oh, Mickey with the kill with Taimu setting it up initially.
Down barrier though comes through. Numlocked with the Earth Shatter, only connects onto Louis. There's Coco, charges him from downtown, picks up the kill. Nice projected barrier coming out as well from Mickey, keeps him alive. Dragon Strike out from Taimu here. Can he find anything? Gets a kill onto IDDQD. They finish off Ultima Wep, who is on that Winston here. Lucio trying to contest Ajax, not going to last too long, and Team EvVyUs going to come through with the map victory here on Kings Row, putting themselves up 1-0 before we head to Nepal.
Very, very dominant performance. Now moving over to Nepal. They already had some great practice up against Liquid. I imagine it's going to go a lot easier for them up against NRG. But again, they still have to battle through this game here. See if we're going to be seeing EvVyUs at 3-0 and potentially NRG 0-3 as they're at 0-2 right now. But Kings Row, the defense, I think, again, EvVyUs should have been able to close it out a little bit easier, but nonetheless pulling out with a lot of time left. And again, Mickey with just some insane plays. We saw that Earth Shatter come through. I think both of us just reacted to that when that happened live, with Coco with the setup there, just laying them all down, and Mickey with that Diva. You can see how much they've actually been able to pull out of that. You know, with all the practice that they put into that combination, it's definitely coming through for him for sure.
I want to go back to what I was saying earlier about Group C. While we do wait for the teams to let us know that they're good to go to head to Nepal, I was just told that You Guys Get Paid actually took a map off of Selfless. They actually beat them 3-2 on Nepal. They're headed to a game number 3 to decide who wins that. So if You Guys Get Paid take down Selfless, Selfless is still not guaranteed a spot, because if Get Paid could beat Envision, they'd have the head-to-head being both 2-1 in the standings. And that would actually put Get Paid above Selfless. And I think Selfless was actually go out above LG Evil, I believe. I'm not exactly sure how that would work. I think it comes down to maps if there's a 3-way tie. So I'll try to keep you guys informed on that series. Yeah, it would be maps. So we try to keep you guys informed in terms of what's going down in that series in Group C. But nonetheless, Nepal for this second game here, because that looked pretty clean for EvVy there on offense. And we've seen them pretty much do pretty well here on Nepal throughout the day here. So I'm expecting them to be able to take this map as well.
I just don't see NRG at the moment on the same level as Liquid. Again, I mean, you mentioned before how Liquid could be that team that comes through and really kind of impresses everybody and makes a deep run. But I definitely feel that at the moment, I have to agree. And I just don't see NRG in that same slot, especially given the fact that right now they're 0-2 in the groups. They already fell to Liquid. They already fell to Splice as well. And certainly I think Splice looks a lot better with Dogman on the roster as well, as he's been playing off stream with those guys so far today. And they're in their last matchup right now against Liquid, who are looking pretty strong to determine who's going to be making it into that last spot here in Group D. I mean, I think EvVyUs has actually secured their spot already. So at this point, it's just trying to get that good seeding and everything like that, trying to secure this. And again, on Nepal, I still think that EvVyUs should be able to secure this one for sure.
We'll see if that's going to be the case. That pretty close one here on Nepal against Liquid previously. So they're definitely wanting to take care of business. Definitely been a long day for these guys after 2-0ing Splice, 2-1ing Team Liquid, and now looking to do the same here to NRG and go out with the bang here on day number 1. We'll see, as it looks like NRG going to be going over to the triple DPS setup, putting Ultima Wep on that Genji, something he actually made a name for himself on quite a bit in the past.
Now IDDQD coming through with that soldier pick. Ultima Wep going to be taking out that Genji, and already taken down pretty low here, Storm, as he's forced to get all the way back. Louis already found a kill on Numlock, though.
It's a good start for these guys. IDDQD under a little bit of heat again from Louis, but Ajax trying to keep him alive. There's a charge from Coco, actually finds him with the pin. Ajax, I don't know, Harblue on the Tracer comes up with a kill for himself, so NRG still maybe a fighting chance to get themselves onto this point. Still 4 people in the area though for EvVy. Not honestly, not as many here for NRG, which is a little unfortunate for them as they lose Ultima Wep. Not really sure why they're sticking around though.
Coco coming through, trying to put some pressure. Actually, Harblue going to be able to find that kill on the Tracer. as he found that pulse bomb stick onto Coco, and now they're gonna have that little bit of an advantage as they're getting onto the point, and Mickey gonna be the mainstay tank here as Chips actually getting forced back. Hardblue trying to put the pressure on him in the back line, gonna be able to take him out.
That's a nice pickup. Both supports down now for the side of Envy. They lose Taimu as well, and NRG really fighting their way into this one, and they do lose Numlock, but in the end, it's just Coco remaining here along with Louis. Should be taken care of in a moment. And just a moment there, Coco eventually going to be taken down. 35%, actually 36% put up there from Envy. Definitely a strong start nonetheless.
Now able to flip it. Hardblue definitely putting in the work that his team needs him to, for sure, on this Tracer, as he's been able to find these clutch picks to set EvVyUs back a ways. And now IDDQD still looking to try to have that stellar performance that we kind of expect from him, especially on the soldier pickup that he's on at the moment. And Taimu, with that tactical visor of his own at the moment, certainly looking as though EvVyUs is going to be in a pretty good position, as, I mean, both teams actually have gotten a lot of ultimates stocked up pretty soon here.
Nano visor from Taimu, though, it's into a sound barrier, so no value whatsoever off of that one. Looking for IDDQD. No, Mickey the first to drop here, and they find a kill without actually even using any of their DPS ultimates. Pulse Bomb comes down from Hardblue, picks up a big kill onto Coco as well, and NRG, just like that, take the lead here, holding on to the point. Chip's going to be taken down, and the big thing here is that they didn't even have to use the Dragon Blade or Tactical Visor.
What is this, man? Somehow NRG are able to take Village and take the lead at least, and looking pretty strong in the process. They've been able to shut down Taimu's ultimate there that came out, and Chips with the nano boost as well. They take both of those options away. Mickey right now on the Zarya as Numlock goes in, gets aggressive, has the Primal Rage ready though, so they have that lifeline as Taimu already takes the kill off on Dummy.
Dragon Blade out from Ultimate Web, looking for something here, but no, his Winston actually knocks everybody away from him, so no value from that Dragon Blade. Maybe not the best Primal Rage coming out from Numlocked, unfortunately. They do lose Ultimate Web. Still an opportunity here for the rest of Envy to move forward as they need to take care of business onto the Winston. IDDQD going to be taken down, and Envy now going to be able to move forward. Still, it's going to be 90+%, actually 88 put on the board there from the side of NRG.
How did Coco get out of that alive? I mean, IDDQD got aggressive on him. Coco was sitting on that health pack, but it was nowhere close to coming up. And then Coco, with that Earth Shatter, was able to secure his own existence and then find that charge and kill off IDDQD. And now they've secured the point off of it. But at the moment, I mean, you kind of need Ultima Wep to have that Dragon Blade to kind of contest that high ground and push NRG, or sorry, push EvVyUs off. But they're already forced off as Hardblue was on the point, and he did actually get that pulse bomb ready as well. So he's looking for that pit.
He's going to miss wide left there, unfortunately. They do have a sound barrier, though, and Harry Hook was taken down in the end, so that's a nice pickup for him. 2 kills now in the bag here for NRG. Tac Visor, though, from Taimu. Going to try to clean this one up, do something. Picks up 1 kill into Numlock, but the flip from NRG comes through here. Doesn't really find a whole lot else, unfortunately. And now 7 seconds to go, and Taimu going down. This is looking like NRG's round.
We will see IDDQD coming back with 2 kills of his own, and that's going to be NRG solidifying that 1-0 lead. And I don't think I actually expected them to take a map on this one, to be honest. I mean, I hate to say it, but it just looked like EvVyUs was going to be able to just kind of run this one. But NRG definitely looking a lot better here on Nepal.
Certainly looking a lot better. I'd be surprised to see Envy allow that to happen again, though. Maybe they're taking a little bit for granted, given that NRG had lost their opening 2 matches, but NRG still, they've got terrific players on this team. I mean, all these players are all-stars here. So we'll see if they're able to continue with this trend, trying to force it to a game number 3, if possible, on Hollywood, and see if Envy is able to battle their way back into this one. It looks like this, again, this is the point they want to go with that double hit scan for, moving Taimu over to the McCree and Louis on that 76.
Now we'll have to see if Taimu going over and you know, Louis making that swap as well, that double hit scan is going to be a factor for them, as it looked good for them here on Shrine before, but Numlocked already taken out. NRG still getting aggressive off of it. Taimu actually going to be able to battle back with Mickey, making that pivot as well to take out Ultima Web, and EvVyUs look to be poised to take this first control point here.
Yeah, they're just going to go ahead and jump potentially. IDDQD, he was looking to jump, maybe find a pick if he could. He did actually end up jumping off the map there. So going to have to wait for him to get the reset. Definitely a solid start here for the side of EvVyUs. And it looks like maybe they're looking for lone stragglers behind here, potentially from Hardblue.
Really, it's going to be really hard to take EvVyUs off of this point, especially with that double hit scan. They're just going to be able to poke you down so much before you're even able to engage, even with this dive comp. And now Mickey forced off a little bit. They get some early pressure out, but they have to put pressure onto Chips. They have to be able to take him out if they want to be able to get anything off of this. Time to be able to shut down Harblu, though, to start things off.
That's a nice flashbang and follow-up with the headshot there, taking care of business on the Tracer as he needs to be doing. Now looking for Ultimate Web, who picks up the health pack, but he just jumps off as Louis cleans this one up, and Envy are now as what we expected on the first round here. They're now really cleaning this one up for themselves, not really utilizing any ultimates in doing so.
We saw on Village, actually, Dummy in some pretty good spots, which at the moment isn't really happening. He's kind of getting himself caught in some really weird locations, really not taking advantage of, you know, the dive composition, just giving him a lot of space to work with, and he's getting taken out late or taken out early a lot of the time. But love to see if maybe they can swap things back around. Taimu bringing out that Deadeye. Not really going to find anything. Everyone's just going to stay hidden, get themselves a little bit more points on the board, I guess you could say. Tackmiser, though, at the ready from Louis, has a nano boost if he needs to use it, which they probably will, but it's going to be into a Transcendence. Pulse Bomb's out there. Sticks picks up the first kill on the Mickey. Nanovisor now out into the Transcendence here, looking for something, but there are no targets available other than that Transcendence. They get the flip mid-fight, 81% nonetheless put up here. Now Attackmiser coming out from IDDQD, trying to turn this fight back in their favor because they did lose Dummy. Primal Rage out as well from Numlock. There's a sound barrier to keep them alive here, and it looks like NRG have done it. IDDQD really finding a lot of kills there, but Louis able to take him out. And the question was going into this tournament, when you saw these roster changes on screen, I mean, certainly you were thinking, you know, what was going to become of this swap with Louis coming in, and with him matching up against IDDQD here, you're certainly thinking that, you know, Louis actually has at least something to bring to the table for sure. And again, in the trial phase, you're definitely expecting him to continue, you know, improving, especially with, you know, Kai coming in for the coach as well for EvVyUs. But now, as they're looking to battle their way back onto the point, they do have Louis stocked up, ready to go with that Tackmiser. Taimu already finding a kill, but it's going to be NRG with two of their own. Tackmiser is being dropped here from Louis, finds Ultimate Weapon before he's able to remech here, looking for the flank. Dummy under a lot of pressure. They find the kill thanks to Mickey jumping in as well. They do have a threat from IDDQD on the side as well as Ajax, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough to actually take him down just yet. Mickey still pouncing on top of him. They do find that kill for themselves. But in the meantime, you got to remember, this whole time, NRG has been holding on to the point, so they get up to 67%. But EvVyUs have now actually forced this down to one final fight here. EvVyUs looking to try to tie this series up, or sorry, this map series up with the rounds now 1-0 in favor of NRG at the moment. But as it is getting ever closer to that point, Taimu going to be dropping out the Deadeye, and Ultimate Weapon right in his face. Oh, self-destruct going to come out just to save the mech. That's a little unfortunate, but nonetheless, Ultimate Weapon was taken down. Sound barrier out from both sides. This is all or nothing for NRG. Tackmiser from IDDQD into a Transcendence actually on his side, so able to keep him alive. Finds a kill onto Chip Cyan. Now Louis dropping his own visor. Finds one. Looking for a second here. Can it be enough? They have a few people still remaining on the point, but no, the Primal Rage from Numlock able to knock him back and potentially help NRG secure the point. They do get the flip against all odds here, Heroics, and they pull this back in their favor, and now it definitely will come down to one final engagement. Dummy now shoulder peeking is going to be taken out by Louis. And there was no reason for Dummy to be taken out in that particular situation, because now EvVyUs are going to be able to get Taimu off of that respawn. It's going to take forever for Ajax to try to get Dummy back to the point. He's actually not even going for it. So yeah, Dummy going to be giving a little bit of an advantage here to EvVyUs, at least to jump onto the point, and he's not going to be on high ground by the time the actual fight even starts. He's all the way in the back just now getting to the steps here, but in the meantime, it looks like EvVy have already engaged here. Chip's the first to drop, though. There's a pick in their favor. IDDQD going to be taken down. Deadeye from Taimu. Oh, he picks up the kill. He is going to be dropped in the end. I didn't expect him to find that one here, but nonetheless, no ultimates to work with from either team here. Only a few remaining for the side of NRG in the area. Ajax should be dealt with. So should Harblu, but Harblu recalling to safety here. They still hold on to the point. Overtime ticking here. And finally, EvVyUs, no, not even quite grabbing this one. NRG getting people back to the point. And they're going to drop Coco's barrier pretty easily here as Louis actually unleashes the tactical fight. Whoa! Oh no! They get off the point. It keeps happening today. What's going on? Oh my goodness. What is this? NRG finding a second round victory. Unexpected, to say the least here. And now one round away from forcing us to a game 3 on Hollywood. No, man. I don't know. I don't know about this. They get forced off the point. It keeps happening today, like of all days. I mean, C9 and Vision. Who did it happen to just recently as well? It was C9 and Vision. Someone else just had it happen to them. What was it?
Can't quite recall.
Was it
there was a lot of them. There was a lot of them.
Was it EvVyUs twice now?
We'll just say it was Cloud9.
Oh god. Nonetheless, we're gonna be seeing.
It was a Western team. That's
NA carts. That's what we decided. Nonetheless, though, Mickey gonna be coming out once again with that Orisa pick, looking for those halts. But again, even if they don't find those environmental kills, it's gonna be forcing Numlock to the side there, and they're gonna be able to basically fold onto them. But look how aggressive he's getting just to start things off, and now he's gonna be in a terrible, terrible position.
Oh, but Ajax had a boop there. He's able to get timing off the map, and I think maybe that's what they were going for, but in the end, not really going to go out in their favor. NRG going to end up losing this first fight, but honestly, it doesn't seem to matter if they lose the first fight, team fight here, because they just keep battling back into these. But nonetheless, Mickey already at 80% towards that supercharger.
Louis in a great position to just hold out that typical spot that you see soldiers standing in. I mean, he's just going to have that extra shield from Mickey, and they're just laying into that staircase. Taimu already finding the kill on Harblu, and this is really, I mean, this is the map that I think EvVyUs looks the strongest on in Nepal.
And it's a little unfortunate for them in particular that they got this as the third map, because of course we will definitely not see this again. So they would have to battle back on the other two maps that didn't quite go in their favor, but definitely that last one probably should. Nonetheless, they do have a couple of ultimates to work with for this next fight. A big advantage supercharger going down there, a big a big boost to their damage, of course, here is really going to force the rest of NRG back.
And Dummy getting pressured in the backline, as well as Louis definitely just popping off there. It's a great kind of line of sight, but we will see NRG not engaging at all. We finally, actually, Ajax jumping onto the point just to try to contest it, force them onto the point a little bit so they can engage on top of it, and swinging around the side. It is going to be Harblu and IDDQD.
Oh, Nano Visor coming out there from Louis, and IDDQD had his own as well, but good heals onto Louis, able to keep him alive here. And Louis again going around the side here, able to pick up that kill onto Harblu, help his team clean this one up. Ajax way out of position. Does he make it out alive? No, not going to be the case. Nice tracking from Louis, able to keep him coming through with those kills. 80% now for Envy.
Louis now at 23%. They're more than likely not going to have this for the rest of the game, unless we do see NRG somehow battling their way into this one with kind of nothing to spare. Coco going to be taken out. That was the only lifeline that they had, but Dummy going to be taken out before the fight even happens.
Louis again coming through big for his team. Simon as well picked up 2 kills, and I think that's it. They have the numbers. I guess I've said it's it before here, but in the end, it's always been NRG coming through. Self-destruct forced out. Not really going to be able to find anything. Is overtime going to tick down. Ultima Web not able to remech, and EvVyUs take a convincing third round here. Still 2 more to try to take this map.
That was completely it. I mean, EvVyUs were really in a bad spot there. Coco had the Earth Shatter, and he actually wound up dying off early. They had the 65 advantage, and they just didn't look for Louis to be on that side that he's just always on, and then slid around that backside. Timmy was kind of just sitting there as well, and they didn't account for those 2 players just to be picking off their backline. Dummy taken out early, Ajax taken out, and they needed that sound barrier to get onto the point and try to, really kind of switch the momentum back in their favor after they did lose Dummy. But man, that was all NRG. That was the one time where I actually felt like NRG set things up and really, really deserved that flip to be able to steal that point away. But now they're going to be still at an advantage, 2-1 on the maps, going back over to Village, and EvVyUs now trying to get 2 maps away from themselves. Harry Hook already with the kill on Ajax, though.
And the Far Mercy coming out here from Saimu and Chips. So we'll see what it amounts to. And again, they are going to be able to secure the first kills. That point doesn't lock for another 10 seconds, but there's no way NRG wants to move in without all 6, especially their Winston. So just like that, Envy finding opening kills and securing the first points again here, X.
And Taimu should be noted back on that Pharah. Once again, they're running with that Pharah Mercy combo, again with that Diva, something that has been run a few times today, actually. And we saw CLG running this in the past as well as once today. But nonetheless, we are going to be seeing them just jumping in at IDDQD. And he's the main person who's supposed to deal with Taimu. But Mickey, again, just so good at being able to make those quick adjustments on the fly and just support his teammates on that flex roll. And that's a big reason why EvVyUs definitely likes that pickup of Mickey for sure, because he's just so quick to adapt like that.
Great awareness overall, and maybe even communication. Not sure if they had actually communicated that, but just able to get up there, help Taimu deal with IDDQD on the 76. Ultima Web now making a move over to the Diva. 35% just like that up here for Envy, who are nearing that resurrect from Chips, which is going to be a big worry moving forward if you are NRG.
Mickey going forward as well. Numlock getting taken down pretty low, and it's going to be yet another series of kills. Just easy for EvVyUs, as maybe, I don't know, did they give up the first 2 matches as consolation? I mean, I don't know. This looks completely different.
This is a completely different. I mean, it's not like they looked bad in the first 2 rounds. It was NRG who looked really good in the first 2 rounds. They were actually matching what Envy was able to do. This time around, even in the last round, you said there was a good setup for NRG to get a flip. I thought they looked pretty decent, but this time NRG not looking even remotely close to how good they looked in the first 2 rounds. So they definitely need to flip it up, turn it up a notch here if they want to be able to take this.
And they do have a lot of ults at their disposal, but they do take out Chips with that resurrect. Still not going to be necessary, as EvVyUs ahead in the fight at the moment. Louis able to find that kill on Numlocked, and Ajax is going to be second to last to fall, as they just need to demech this.
I don't even want to call these team fights here, because these are just like, they're all over the place. It looks so easy. Taimu's not even being dealt with here. He's just doing whatever he wants. They have all 6 ultimates. Did they even use their ult?
There's the first ult, I think, that we've seen from EvVyUs. And he's not going to be able to find that 2K last kill on the dummy, as he just jumps straight at Taimu in a straight line against the Pharah. And it's going to be Ajax to fall as well. Overtime ticking down. And man, NRG not looking good. But they still have that last shot, man.
I feel like Louis might have used his pulse bomb, but other than that, the rest were just forced. They were like, hey guys, I'm just going to go ahead and use my ultimates right now. So 2-2, just like that. Envy tying it up here on Nepal. Final round here. If we do see Envy take this, they will be #1 overall in Group D. If they do lose this round, we're going to be headed to Hollywood for a game #3 here. X, what do you think? And actually, we're going back to this point to see what we're going to have from both these teams. And this is exactly what Envy dominated on earlier.
Yeah, this is, I mean, in the last series that we saw Nepal come out on with EvVyUs, I mentioned how if Sanctum comes through, EvVyUs wins the point. And that's the same case here against NRG, as well as I think Liquid was just a little bit tougher of a contender. And we already saw EvVyUs able to just shred through NRG on this map already. So I think this all but seals it for EvVyUs, unless NRG somehow makes huge plays. And I think a lot of that is going to be down to IDDQD and Ultima Web to be able to find those picks. But I don't know if I believe in it. Mickey right now again, trying to find those environmental kills, and Unlock getting very aggressive again, and he just takes it out again.
He did that exact same thing last time. Unlock just dove into the back line, got immediately taken down. There was a consolation in that Ajax got a boop off the map. I believe it was on the Taimu last time, playing the Roadhog, but this time around, really not going to do too much, as Envy clean it up once again. Clean cut, and just pretty much done for him right now. We'll have to see if they're able to maintain control as well as they did last time.
He didn't really get a huge amount of ult charge off of that one, as it kind of evened out a little bit. Louis right now only about 14% ahead of IDDQD, and you want to have a little bit more distance against a threat like IDDQD. And Mickey just, he gets them all up top again, displacing them just a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't really get too much follow-up, but did just get displace them a little bit there. There's a charge from Numlock, getting really aggressive. Nice bio grenade connects there from Chips. Numlock the first to fall again. Get a little too aggressive here for the side of NRG. They did get a kill there on the Harry Hook, but not really going to do too much for him, as our blue going to go ahead and jump off. Got taken down by Taimu, 35%, and a lot of ults starting to pile up here for Envy.
Certainly want to see that nano boost going out onto Louis here. We want to see a little bit of healing come out as well, just to allow Harry Hook to get that sound barrier ready so they can start holding onto those ults again like the last map. But nonetheless, certainly looking for Louis to come around the side, and he's actually standing behind shield at the moment, and they're just going to try to play this shield battle, as Numlock more than likely just try to get aggressive here again, as he's taken down pretty low. Barrier going to be dropping as well.
Oh, he doesn't want to drop again this time around. He is going to back up, get some good heals there from Dummy. There's the halt. Doesn't find anything. No, not going to be the case. Backfires are going to come down here from IDDQD. He's immediately taken down by Louis, who actually had, I'm not even sure, did he have the nano boost onto him? Regardless, he found the kill onto IDDQD. There's a second phase. Ajax gets taken down. NRG looked to have a fighting chance, but not really going to be lasting too much longer, as they will be backed off of this.
So again, I mean, EvVyUs just with such a dominant performance early on in the game that they're able to expend a lot of their ultimates just to secure that positioning in the final fight where they're still in a little bit of a lead. Coco now with that same position as before. Coco with the only ultimate. It's going to be that Earthshatter. They're not in that same exact location. Oh, what is that? Mickey with the halt.
Goodness, that's a big play. Self-destruct coming through there as Harblue doesn't find anything. Ultimate Whip, though, comes through with the whole hog. This is all or nothing here for NRG. Charge from downtown. Coco picks up the kill into IDDQD. It's Harblue against the world. He's going to be D-Mex here. He's going to be taken down. And EvVyUs comeback here, being down 0-2. The reverse sweep is in order as Numlock tries to do something with the Earthshatter. Not going to be the case. EvVyUs #1 overall in Group D.
Man, really solid performance there at the end on Nepal, but a little bit of a nail biter there going into it as NRG was in a great position when they had it up 2-1. But really, really great performance, actually. This is one of the first times, actually, that we've been seeing a consistently strong performance from Enarissa. And that was not the only time that we saw a double environmental kill, actually, from Mickey. They actually finished off of that with Coco, the only person with an ultimate. They were still able to clutch that out with Mickey finding those 2 environmental kills himself. But that's going to be it, I think, isn't it?
That is all we have in terms of the matches we have today. A couple of things as we close out the stream tonight, guys. We do have 7 out of the 8 people who will be moving, or teams rather, that will be moving on to tomorrow. Of course, it's just the top 2 in all 4 groups. Group A is Rogue at #1, Rise Nation at #2. Group B was Immortals at #1, Cloud9 at #2. C is Selfless, who did end up taking down Get Paid 2-1. They're at #1, LG Evil at #2, and then Envy at #1 here. Still awaiting the victor between Splice and Team Liquid. I've been notified that just started because the VOD is being recorded for that. A lot of the matches off stream are actually being recorded for future watching after this tournament has wrapped up here. So no update on that just yet. That's pretty much it for us here. Any last words from you before we close this out?
Man, a scary performance actually from Team Liquid. Definitely looking to see them make it into the finals, or I mean, heck, if Splice even make it, that would be crazy to see as well. I mean, other than that, I don't think it's too much of a surprise. I mean, the other standout I think would be CLG dropping 0-3 in their grouping. I just thought that they would have been a little bit better off, but Rise Nation making it through was not really that much of a surprise at all. And it's going to be otherwise. I mean, Immortals, Cloud9 making it through, Selfless, LG Evil, really, it just
pretty expected.
Pretty expected, but you guys get paid with a stellar performance. Are still able to take 2 maps off of a pretty tough group. And again, just waiting on Splice and Team Liquid. But if Liquid actually winds up winning that one, then I would definitely look to Liquid to be that dark horse in the playoffs at least, because everybody else, I think, was I think everybody else would kind of fall where we expect.
Well, the matches for tomorrow for the quarterfinals, which I need to remind you is a double elimination bracket. So a lot of Overwatch action tomorrow, just like today, guys. I think we're streaming like 7 of those series, I believe. So be sure to follow. We don't have those matchups ready yet until the Splice Liquid game is actually over. So be sure to follow Live the Battle on Twitter. At Live the Battle, of course, and on Twitch to be notified in terms of what the bracket is. We'll also, of course, be giving updates to like Liquipedia, Over.gg, and GoSu Gamers to make sure that those websites are up to date for the bracket as well moving forward. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. I'm at Game with Storm. He's at CT Hurix. We'll be back tomorrow along with Joshi and Jorosar. They did a terrific job earlier today with the first 4 series. Again, that's it from us. Thanks to our sponsors over at Razer and DX Racer. We'll be back here on this channel tomorrow at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern for the quarterfinals. See you then.